I don't know if the video camera will show it. Can you just turn very slightly now? Right. I'm going to move this camera just for the purpose to show you something. Can you see that light down the side of the face there? That's reflected back off the background. So you can get this very, very soft light which shapes the outline of the face from behind if you get the distance between the background and the model correct. And that can be a very useful thing to use. You might not, because this is a video camera, it's not a still camera, and you can't just see it there. Can you see it there, how it's, our face is now separated from the black hair. If you watch that light on the face, and I'll take this off, keep looking at the camera, see you? And I'll take that one off, and I'll take the other one off, you'll see that's gone. That's gone now. Put that on, well, I'll just do it with a one, just to prove the point, because this is the light that's doing it. When I put this on, you will see that cheek pick up. Now, 99% of people would never see that in a million years. Put the light on, took a picture. It's things like that that makes the difference to your portrait. That is just pure reflected light from a grey paper. Oh, you all understand that? If you've got any questions, by the way, shout them out. So I can produce a white background. The other thing I should have said at the start is a couple of things. First of all, whatever I say tonight, I'm not right. But I'm not wrong. I'm only telling you what works for me. If you can pick anything up out of that, great. If you can't, tough. Secondly, a lot of this has changed because of Adobe. Adobe can change a lot of things in portraiture. Like, for example, if I wanted a coloured background, it's very easy for me to do it this way. But you might say it's easy in Adobe. Click the fill tool, select it, change the colour of the background. But I found those colours are too hard and lacking form and shape. What I do is very simple. And not so much with studio flash heads, but with small flash guns, all you need to do is buy yourself a pound of Quality Street. It's now to worry about with Quality Street is to put coloured gels on. I haven't a clue what I've got here. You might not see it too easily on that. That's too thin. Just a minute. Now I've made that a bit blue. Now you've got to be very careful if you're using gels. I've already explained that I originally had that white light set for F16. Now if you put a gel on that's still F11, for example, if it only cuts it by one stop, then you're not going to see the colour because it's going to overexpose that colour. So you would need to make sure that light was balanced for F8 as well, so that you would see the colour. Otherwise, do you understand that? Otherwise, you wouldn't see the colour. If you overexpose that, you would cease to have the colour. And you can do various things with these gels. Is that right? I don't know. I don't know. Colour's a very subjective thing. You can put whatever colour you like on. There we've got sort of an orange coming to a bluey green. We turned up the other way. You do it the other way around. Or you do it horizontal. I must admit that this image is not showing it all that well. Video images. I mean, you can see the colour on the background better than you can on the screen, but you can see the colour. So you can change the colour quite easily. Now, I much prefer taking the picture the way I want it on the camera. I do very little manipulation in Adobe. Perhaps the only thing I'll do is take out the old zit or perhaps increase the contrasted touch, or something like that. But I'm not one of these that'll go in for hours and hours and hours of retouching. If you do a modelling session and you took 50 photographs, and it took you an hour to soften our skin, an hour, on each picture, multiplied by 50, I'd rather get the picture right when I took it. It's also good because it works with your rapport with the model. You work together, you work as a team. And by working with the model, it gets her to relax. You could sit there and take 80 pictures, click, 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 and spend an hour on each in Adobe. That's not the way I do it. If you want to do it that way, carry on. It's not for me. I don't work that way. Our next effect light we can achieve was, if you notice some of those earlier pictures where it had a hair light. And this is achieved by one of these. It's a quarter backlight. And pointed them up. Now a lot of people might think, oh, that looks all right. That looks all right. This light is f8. That light is twice as powerful as this one. So if that's given f8 through a softbox, that's probably given f16, f22 through there. So what's going to happen to that bit of skin? It's going to be burnt out completely. What you're trying to achieve is, because Celia has dark hair, forget the skin there at the minute, look at the hair. You want that bit of hair to be one stop, no more than one stop, overexposed, because she's got dark hair. Dark hair sucks the light in. If it's a blonde and you did one stop, the light would just shine straight through the blonde hair. Dark hair, about one stop, overexposed on that part of the thing. But we've got a problem. And what the problem is, because that light is pointing towards the camera, the most common thing you see is flare. You often see flare. Now, there is a technique of limiting it. It's called a French flag. And quite simply, it's just anything. It doesn't matter. It's not taking pictures. A stand, bit of black cloth, a bit of black card, anything like that. Doesn't matter what it is. If we get the damn thing to stay on there. And you stand behind and look at the camera lens, and you move that into there, and none of the light will shoot into the camera lens. It's called a French flag. That's the name for this little bit of thing. It just stops any light coming into the lens. Again, you can't see it on the video camera, but you would see it on a still camera if you took a picture like that. So your French flag, if you've got two lights on one other side, you'd have two flags. But it doesn't matter, you're not going to photograph it. I've seen people go to great lengths to make these beautiful French flags with clips and all. But you're not going to photograph it, a bit of bloody sellotape and a bit of card. Anything just to stop that light shining direct into your lens. The other way to stop that light is, perhaps it's easier, but it's a bit more expensive. And that is to use something called a honeycomb. You clip the honeycomb onto there. If it fits. The good thing about a honeycomb is it gives parallel beams of light. Now you will actually only see that light when it's pointed direct at you. Move it to the next person, you'll probably not see it. So if I just start across here, you can see it there shining at you, but as soon as it goes off you, you can't see the light. Can you all see that? Because it's like a bee's honeycomb. It genuinely is like a honeycomb. It's about an inch thick of hexagonal holes, and it gives you a parallel beam of light. So if I now put that on the back of the model's head, if I put that on the back of the model's head, I won't get any flare because the parallel light's not shining at the camera. So doing it that way, you will just not see any flare at all. None whatsoever.